Howdy everyone, Camille here. Today I am going to tell you about the horse that I bought from a sale barn. So his name's Tango, he's 3 years old, he's a Mustang, and he's from Silver King, Nevada. And it's kind of a interesting story of how I got him because I was not expecting to be buying a horse anytime soon at all. And I definitely wasn't expecting to have it happen in the way that it happened. So 2 weeks ago, I was in Kentucky with my friend Melissa, and Melissa was competing in the 2021 Thoroughbred Retired Racehorse Project makeover. So the Thoroughbreds version of the Mustang makeover, and it was a really cool event, really fun to be there and see a different type of makeover going on. It kind of made me want to try it, but it was really cool to be there. Melissa did really well. She placed third overall in the barrels, and she was the first place amateur, so really proud of her. But aside from that, one of the evenings we were all just hanging out and watching some of the competition, and I'm scrolling through Facebook, and right when I opened Facebook, the very first post on my feed was someone sharing a ad from a sale barn in Texas. And I immediately recognized the photos because this little horse that someone had shared to a Mustang group was the competition horse for a youth trainer who I know and whose family I'm pretty close with. And I immediately text the mother and I'm like, hey, one of your son's Mustangs wound up in a sale barn. And I didn't get a lot of the story till later, but basically her son had competed in the 2019 Texas Tip Challenge. So this is an in-hand competition. I think all of the kids get yearlings for that competition, but adults can compete in it too. And they get usually older horses, I think. But it's all an in-hand competition. It's kind of like a Mustang makeover, just all in hand, kind of a less competitive, more relaxed version of a makeover. It's a great place to get started if you're looking to get started in doing Mustang competitions. But anyways, he'd competed with this gelding, and afterwards he put the gelding up for adoption, and this horse was adopted and kept for the 1 year period, was titled, but due to some personal situations with the adopter, she ended up selling the horse, and then the person that she sold it to took it to a sale barn. So a sale barn, by the way, is not a kill pen. A sale barn is a place where auctions happen. So if you wanted to sell your own horse, you could take it to a sale barn. But the downside is it's not like an auction that happens after an extreme Mustang makeover where all the bidders are approved and no kill buyers are allowed. Kill buyers and horse traders often frequent these auctions. So that's why, even though this was a reputable sale barn, that's why when a now 3-year-old Mustang goes to a sale barn, I got a little bit worried because he hadn't been started under saddle. He's small, he's sorrel, he's a little bit plain, and those are kind of the horses that don't go for a lot of money. And the horses that don't go for a lot of money are the ones that kill buyers will sometimes pick up at these auctions and take to a kill pen. So that's what I was worried about. So I texted the mother. I sent her the ad that someone had shared to the Mustang group, and I just wanted to let them know that he was in the sale barn so that they could go and take him, buy him back if they were in the position to do so. And that was that for a little bit. I couldn't stop thinking about it though, so I messaged the sale barn to see if he'd sold yet, because the ad said that he was selling at their auction that night. So I messaged them and I asked, hey, has this horse sold yet? And they said, no, he sells tonight. We start the horse auction at, I think it was 8 p.m. And that was 2 hours from when I found the sale ad. So I said, okay, well, I can't be there in person. Is there a way that someone could bid, online, call in a bid, and then have the horse held until it can be picked up? And they said, no, I'm sorry. If you want this horse, you have to be there in person to buy it. So I was like, well, shoot, that's that. But I messaged the mother of the son who trained the Mustang again. And I was like, hey, you know what? I can't stop thinking about it. If someone can be there in person to bid for me, I'll buy this horse. Because here's the thing. I know this family that trained this Mustang originally, and they are so talented at what they do. The mom has 2 kids that have been competing for years. This was their son's first competition horse, but I've seen most of the horses that they've taken to these competitions, and they're always very well behaved, very well trained. They know tricks. They have a really solid foundation on the ground that makes it so that when they get older, these horses are really valuable because they're going to be really easy to start later on. A youth horse that's gone through the Extreme Mustang Makeover Tip Challenge training program has all the tools that it needs to get a solid start under saddle. So my thinking was, I'll buy the horse, start the horse under saddle. It's already 3, so it's old enough to, it's almost 4 actually, so it's old enough to start getting some work under saddle. And hopefully, Mustangs are pretty smart. Hopefully it's retained all the stuff it learned during its training period. So I figured I can make the money back I spend on this horse if I buy it, put it under saddle, make it a really solid citizen. And the thing that keeps horses out of auctions is if they're valuable. So when a Mustang is a yearling and gets sold, sadly, there's not a lot of people who are willing to spend a lot of money on a yearling because you have to keep it for a couple years before it's big enough, old enough to get started under saddle. And that makes them a little bit less valuable because you have to feed them during that time to get them ready to be worth something. Once a horse is under saddle, it's worth a whole lot more. And so if you can teach a horse good manners, get them going under saddle, make them really reliable, and sell them for a big price tag, someone who's willing to pay a big price tag for a horse is going to value that horse. And even if they have to sell the horse later on down the road, all of the skills and all of the value that that horse has goes with them. So they're not going to wind up in the same situation over and over again. If you can give a horse quality training and give them some value, that situation is very unlikely to happen again. So what I was thinking is I'd buy the horse, train the horse, and create some value, and then find it its forever home. So that's all the things that was going through my mind when I texted the mother of this youth trainer. And she tells me we are already on our way to the auction. We have our trailer, and my son is bringing the money that he saved up to buy his first car. And that's where I got like a little bit of a lump in my throat, because these horses, even though they pass out of your lives, you still care about them, and you would still do what it takes to make sure that they're taken care of. He knew he had a responsibility to this horse, and even though he hadn't seen this horse in 2 years, he was willing to do everything it took to make sure that that horse would be okay. So that's when I definitely decided, all right, I'm for sure gonna get this horse. So I told them what money I had to spend, and then I waited. I was, a little bit out of the loop in Kentucky, so I was just sitting by the phone with my ringer on, and eventually it had been a while, so I text her for an update, and as soon as I text her, she says, we won him just now. So I was super excited. I hadn't been planning on buying a horse at all, and somehow everything came together just right. I happen to have a spot open at my barn right now that I hadn't filled, and it just felt like it was meant to be. They took him home, and they fed him up a little bit. They held him for 2 weeks because once a horse is at a sale barn, there's a lot of horses. It's not the most sanitary place, and so it's always recommended that if you buy a horse from a sale barn or a kill pen, that you quarantine for 2 weeks to make sure that they didn't pick up anything that they're going to bring back and spread to other horses. So he stayed with them for 2 weeks, and now he's back with me. I went to pick him up two days ago now, and when we got there, a cold front had just rolled in this morning, and so he was running around, and the dogs were running around, and everyone was just having a good old time. He didn't want to be caught at first, but I got to see a little bit of his movement, and I think he's going to be a really nice mover. And eventually we got him cornered, and all joking aside, the boys were able to catch him, and we were able to lead him around, mess around with him a little bit. They sent me home with a bucket of goodies and a Jolly Ball for Tango. And he got right to playing with that Jolly Ball right away. He knew that was for him. He loaded up on the trailer. It took him a little minute, but he got right on. He hauled really great the whole ride home, and we got home when it was already dark, but he was great about coming off the trailer, going into a new stall, and he's been settling in really, really well. And he also cleans up really nice. So I'm really excited about this horse and the way it came together. It really goes to show how far the Mustang family will go to make sure a horse is taken care of. And Tango, he really brought everyone together. So I'm really excited about him. He's been fun. I've just played around with him a little bit. My goals for him right now are to just go over some groundwork, make sure there's no holes. We need to get the farrier out because his feet don't look like they've been done in a good long while. And from there, he'll get started under saddle, which brings me to a new topic. So I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and Tango really gave me the perfect opportunity to make it happen. Last month, I did a Mustang Gentling membership series where people paid to be a part of a Facebook membership group, and I shared all of the unedited behind the scenes footage of gentling a Mustang named Cora. And Cora went through all her gentling, and I was able to show everyone all the steps, all the behind the scenes, all the stuff you don't usually get to see on YouTube, including some stuff where things went wrong, and including a lot of problem solving where things didn't work out like it should have, and I had to find a new way around a roadblock and come through the other side. And I really enjoyed being able to give that type of content on a more personal level with people. So my next series coming up is going to be kind of the same deal, but it's going to be focused on colt starting. So it's going to start on November 8th, and it'll be a 5-week series, and I'll show all the groundwork that I do leading up to a successful, hopefully, first ride. And from there, going forwards, how I teach a horse to work with a rider in harmony, how I teach them to take direction, to steer, to move the different parts of their body, to have confidence going over obstacles, to have confidence riding out in new places, going on the trails, maybe even crossing some water. And I'm really excited to be able to show all of the details for an exclusive audience. So if you want to be a part of that group, I'm going to put the link in the description, the sign up link for this group. There is an early bird discount going on until November 5th. So if you sign up on or before November 5th, you'll get the early bird rate of $75 for 5 weeks of 5-day-a-week instructional videos with Tango, all unedited, all including training commentary from me. And then if you sign up on or after November 6th, you'll pay the full price of $90. So make sure to sign up soon. But all that said, if you have questions about Tango, questions about my new cult starting series, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I hope you're looking forward to hearing a little bit more about Tango. I think he's going to be a really fun and really special horse. He'll probably be with me sometime between 3 and 6 months. I plan to get him really quiet, really easygoing under saddle, maybe even take him to some shows, get him some trail experience, some real world experience before looking to find him a forever home. So he's with me for a good while now, but make sure you pay attention to him and how his training's coming along, because maybe he'll be just the right horse for you. Anyways, all of that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're looking forward to seeing more of Tango. I hope you're not bored seeing my face and hearing my voice instead of watching me train horses, because I don't usually do videos like these. But let me know if you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more.